AI tools are here and they are within our industry in a big way. If you're an instructional designer and you're not engaging or at least learning about AI tools from a very detached perspective without giving them any judgment, you're becoming obsolete. You are rendering yourself obsolete within our industry because, from my perspective, as a director of digital learning solutions and as an ID who hires people, I would say that that is becoming the number one skill above the general ID stuff that we do is utilizing AI tools because we want to create work faster, we want to create work better, and it's not about removing people from the their positions. It's about creating what I like to call a super mind. Well, what Dr. Malone, Thomas Malone from MIT calls is a super mind, where we integrate the use of AI tools and people together so we make better decisions and better work all together. So Ms. Calista Dawson and myself are here to show you some of our favorite tools. So let's dive in.
Yes. All right. I'm thinking we should start with maybe a general GPT tool. So I've got Gemini open if we want to look at that first. Have you played with Gemini at all, George?
I have played with Gemini. Can we start off with how Gemini had to pull its text to image stuff?
I knew
They
you
had
were
to
going to
stop
bring that up.
generating text to image because it was incorrectly trained, right?
Yeah.
And that's kind of something that people talk about all the time is training with AI, and it was just trained incorrectly. It took it offline. They'll train it to the right stuff, and they'll bring it back. So it's kind of neat to be able to see a big company like that kind of goof and then adjust, and it'll be back shortly. So it's kind of cool, and I love the text based part that you have here with Gemini.
Yeah, I've become a big fan of incorporating Gemini into my workflows, mostly just as a brainstorming tool when I feel stuck in an idea, or if I need to write something about a topic I don't know a lot about. I'll just have a chat with Gemini and learn what I need to learn in order to write the thing that I'm trying to write. What do you like to use it for?
I love the way that you said that because remember when November 2022 ChatGPT hit and everybody was, you have to be a prompt engineer.
Right.
Well, now it's more about that conversation back and forth
Exactly.
is what it's about. And I use it for a lot of the same reasons you do. I like to use it to brainstorm and think through things and get different perspectives back because the biggest thing that it's done for me is we all think from our previous experience, so we're naturally in a silo if we're by ourselves, right? So now we can take ourselves out of that silo with these tools, and Gemini does a great job with that.
I agree. And I think one of the things that I hear a lot in terms of using this tool in the world of ID is it replacing the designer? And I think obviously it can do a lot in terms of generating content, but as an instructional designer, I like to use it more, like I said before, to generate my ideas, to expand my ideas that I've already got. I look at it more as a coworker. So like instead of calling George and bouncing ideas off of George, I'm calling up Gemini and bouncing my ideas off of Gemini.
And Gemini is never in a meeting and can't attend.
Exactly, right. So I mean, I still love the human to human collaboration and brainstorming, but if I'm coming up against a deadline and I don't have the ability to wait for someone to be available, I don't need to wait anymore. Gemini is online all the time.
Boom, it's just there. And that's incredible. And I love the way you said that it's not there to replace, it's there to make us better and be a part of the team, if you will. So now we have AI on our team. So we added Otani as our pitcher and batter within the ID team, right?
Sports reference.
Sports reference. Hello.
Well, do we want to play with this a little bit right now?
Heck yeah. What would you like to are we going to brainstorm? What would we
Yeah,
like to
sure.
do?
Why not? Well, do we want to take a project that we're currently working on and sum it up a bit? I
Ooh,
know
yeah,
yesterday we
yeah.
were working on the AI symposium stuff, but that might still be under wraps. I don't know.
No, let's blow. If it is under wraps, let's take it out from under wraps.
Okay.
So yeah, the AI symposium's happening March. Don't let me get the date wrong. I will get the date as we're thinking about this. So it's
Is it the 28th? Is
yeah,
it next
March
week?
28th, 0900 to 1100 hours. Dr. Reynolds, Dr. Herman, and Dr. Brewer, along with myself, will be presenting in that, and we're going to be talking about ethics, going to be talking about tools, and we're going to be talking about the future of education. It's higher education based. This one is. This symposium's based on higher education. So it's out of wraps if it wasn't.
Okay. So what's something from that we could brainstorm about? Maybe programmatic stuff or icebreaker activities? What are some things you still need to flesh out for this event?
Oh, I'm putting my presentation together right now, and it's
Okay.
going to be, I want it to be interactive, right? So
Okay.
the initial part, we're going to look at the first chatbot. They used to call chatbots chatterbots in the 60s,
Oh,
which I always thought was funny. It's a chatterbot. So how about an icebreaker? Let's see what it does for icebreakers, because
okay.
I'm notoriously horrible at that.
Okay. Is there any specific topic that you want to give it for the icebreaker, and then I'll have it generate a bunch of ideas?
Let's either do using AI or creating the future classroom or ethics in AI use. One of those two.
Okay, I'll go with the ethics for now. So let's just do create 10 ideas for an icebreaker activity that will help attendees of a webinar explore the ethics of AI in higher education.
Yeah, let's see, since that's the realm that we're looking at for the symposium. Yeah, let's do that.
So that's just a prompt off the top of my head. Maybe not the best engineered prompt, but it's going to get us going.
Right, and then the conversation starts, right? That's the cool part.
Okay, so it's already done. That was quick. Let's just see what its first 10 ideas were.
Would you rather?
Well, Would You Rather is a really popular game in my house. My kids love that. So let's look at that one. Pose ethical dilemmas related to AI and education as would you rather questions. Would you rather have an AI professor who tailors lectures to your learning style, or a human professor who fosters critical thinking?
Oh, can you do me a favor?
Yeah.
You know me, whenever I see the term learning style, it kind of makes me go, oh,
Yeah.
as the APA has put it, the American Psychological Association has put it, learning styles are a myth.
Mm-hmm.
So it kind of makes me pause whenever I hear learning style, probably unnecessarily so. So let's say, hey, I really like the Would You Rather. I remember playing that with my granddaughter just the other day. It was absolutely great. That's why it caught my eye. Would you rather, but let's not use learning styles or something like that. That's when that conversation starts, right?
Let's see what it does with that. I like your preference. Okay, so now it's giving me a bunch more of others. Are any of those popping out at you? Let's see. I like this one.
Writing is help students develop strong arguments. Oh, I like that one too.
Have human
And then
tutors.
I totally interrupted you. Go ahead.
No, I was just reading it out loud. I like the concept of having AI tutors versus human tutors. I think that even goes back to what I was saying before. I like having that human-to-human interaction, especially in learning. But for tutoring, if you're up against a deadline and you need to learn something quickly, AI is a great tool to have in your tool belt.
Right. So how can we make that? How would that be interactive with the
Okay,
audience?
take number 2 and make it an interactive activity. Wow, it just went in a totally different direction. Okay, so this is a scenario, and it's going to have you do breakout rooms with debates. That's fun. What do you think about that? George, it looks like you're talking, but I can't hear you.
Yeah, all right. I'm back on track. So that gave us some awesome stuff, right? So I don't really want to use that verbatim the way it is, but it gave me the concept that maybe I could split the room. It's going to be online, so it's Zoom. So maybe I could put into 2 teams, kind of like the old cartoons when it talks about Paul, we accept it, we reject it kind of thing.
Yeah.
And then just kind of have it going back and forth within either the chat or somebody can be. So there's a lot of good possibilities there. Now that I have that, I can take it and kind of start to run with it. And then I would actually, the next step for me would be to post things in our Slack channel to kind of get people feedback now. So now that I have both sort of feedbacks as well. And
Yeah.
if I didn't have time, then I would just go with my perspective from what it gave me. What do you see from it?
On this particular activity, I definitely love that idea of having a debate on the topic, but I think it's even fun to push it a little further where you, kind of like what you said, you assign this group to advocate and this group to be against it. And they may or may not share that opinion, but it's good exercise to debate the opposite opinion of what you actually have.
Right. I enjoy doing that because it forces you out of your comfort zone.
Totally. I remember an activity in high school where we had a debate and I was given a topic and everyone was given a controversial topic, but I think mine was abortion or, one of the big controversies. And then I was put on the opposing opinion from what my personal opinion was. And having to put together an argument for that was really challenging, like psychologically challenging, because you want to advocate what you believe in.
But you have to. So can we then say that by going through this process that we just went through and possibly being put on the opposite side of our actual opinion, that a machine is helping us create empathy? We still don't have to agree. You can have empathy and not agree, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. Kind of interesting thought.
Okay, well, we've spent some time with Gemini. Do we want to jump to another tool?
Yeah, what would you like? Yes, let's do another one.
Okay, let me see if I can just, I can't just change tabs. I gotta stop sharing. Okay, let's do Claude. He's a new one for me. I say he like it's a guy, but
I know, right? Isn't that funny how we do that?
Okay, I've got it switched over now. Let's bring that up on the screen if we can. Okay. Oh, he's calling me Callie. I don't know if I told him to call me Callie or not. I must have.
Okay. Hello, Callie. Good morning, Callie. That's awesome.
I just found Claude recently and have played with him a little bit. But one of the things that stood out to me, he functions a lot like Gemini and ChatGPT, but he looks like a fashion magazine or, like a designer was actually working on this project. The Google Gemini is pretty, but it's still very technical looking, almost clinical. Claude has taken a different approach.
Claude's kind of smooth, kind of.
Yeah. Have you played
Yeah.
with this one at all?
I have not. This is going to be new for both of us. I have not played with Claude before, so this will be. So we'll get a real take. So here, hot take. Here's a real take. We're going to see how easy it is to use or not.
Okay, so let's say, he says, "What can I help you with? Can you help me to create a flow for a webinar symposium?" How do you spell symposium? It looks weird. Okay, good. Webinar symposium that will keep my audience engaged. Let's see what he does with that.
Nothing.
Oh, where did my prompt go? Well, that was fun.
We told everybody this was going to be live, and
Yeah. Okay, let's try that again.
Okay, here we go.
Can you help me design flow for a webinar symposium that will keep my audience engaged? There we go.
Now we're thinking. Oh, wow, it breaks it down into the.
Oh, it's giving you time chunks and everything.
Yeah, that is pretty spectacular, actually.
So there you go. Oh, how funny. The first one came up and it's totally different.
So we just got impatient is what just happened, right? We're so
I'm
used
not
to it.
entirely sure, to be honest.
Well, and that's a beautiful thing, because that shows that the bots, the generative pre-trained transformers, GPTs, don't just copy and paste content. They generate their own content. So that's kind of cool, because we just saw an action right there with two. We got impatient and we jumped to the second one.
Well, and how funny, like the prompts I wrote are almost identical, but this one gave me more aspirational response, and this one gave me a more technical response. Isn't that funny?
Activity. Pull, quiz, reinforce. Yeah, encourage.
Good stuff. I might have to save this for you so you can look at it later.
Okay.
One of the things that was interesting to me about Claude is, I think it was last week or maybe the week before, it hit the news headlines because one of the developers was testing it and had fed it a bunch of documents in hopes that it would find a decoy sentence, something about ordering a pizza, had absolutely nothing to do with the context of the documents. And Claude not only found the decoy sentence, but it acknowledged the fact that it was being tested, or that they were playing a joke on it.
Isn't that kind of crazy?
That's so crazy to me.
That's like, you know, if it had voice or text to voice, it probably sounded like Arnold. Are you trying to test me right now? You need to stop it.
Yes, with the Austrian accent. Claude does have that feeling to it, doesn't it?
You know, okay, we've gone way too far.
I know. Might have to edit this out. You know, I've only used these two for generating text and brainstorming ideas. When I want to do more of like image generation or the more creative stuff, I tend to go to some other tools. Do you want to hop over to maybe Microsoft CoPilot?
Yeah, let's see those. I really like CoPilot a lot.
Okay, let me pull it up.
And now, because I'm not an artist, I am like the furthest thing from an artist, and you are a legit artist. What's your feelings about like CoPilot and stuff? Do you enjoy using them for when you need them in a pinch?
So, you know, my initial feelings about generative art we're not all positive. I've shared that before on other streams. Um, as an artist, it did feel a bit threatening in the beginning. And I'm not saying all of those feelings are gone. However, I have been able to find ways to use it that have benefited me in my exploration of art. And a perfect example is I've been given an illustration project, a side project, and the company really wants this very specific, like their logo is a turtle, and they want their turtle running a race, and it's running against a bulldog and some other animals. And so I just went over to CoPilot and started asking it to generate different types of cartoony bulldogs until I saw one that inspired me, or that I thought, okay, that's a style that is similar to my own. I could draw something like that. And then I go and draw the bulldog. I don't take the bulldog that it generated, but it gave me a lot of options to then be inspired by really, really quickly.
That's so cool.
Yeah. Here, why don't we pull CoPilot up on the screen now and we can play with it a little bit. So I've got it open, and it auto sets it to a style of more balanced. You can switch it to more precise or more creative, depending on the type of work you're trying to do. So when I'm doing my brainstorming for, generating images, I'll go to the more creative. And so just to show you, it gives you options up here to get inspired by too, which I always appreciate with these generators, because sometimes you open it up and it's a blank screen and you're like, I don't even know where to start. So I've come to appreciate even the humor of the suggestions, create an image of a quirky mascot for a college basketball team, just for fun. I've always wanted LAPU to have a mascot, and
do it.
It's been over a decade and we still don't have one. So let's see. Create a mascot for Los Angeles Pacific University. I've always advocated for either an eagle or a lion. Do you have a preference?
Man, those are my two favorite. So either one. Those are eagle. Since I have a big old eagle on the front of my Jeep, let's do an eagle.
I thought you might go eagle. Let's see what it thinks our mascot should look like.
Dun, dun, dun.
Now, I will preface with image generators, it does take longer than generating text. Oh, it's going to make me sign in. Hold on.
Yeah, it apps, and it's well worth that momentary pause to see what it comes up with, even if it's just for the motivation or the intentionality of what they're doing. It's kind of cool. And especially for somebody like me who has crazy thoughts in their head but has no idea how to create anything even relatively close. It's super cool. Ooh, look at that. I always wanted a slide in my house.
A slide in your house? Oh, I see the thing up there. I was like, where did that come from?
It wasn't as random as it sounded.
I'm too focused on typing my prompt in again. I didn't even
Thank you for being the one typing, because people would see how long it would take us forever for me if I was typing. We'd still be back on Gemini right now.
Look how pretty it is. They don't even make you be bored while you're waiting. It gives you something interesting to look at.
Right.
So considerate.
That's the designers that chimed in.
Yeah, I've definitely noticed like which tools are employing visual designers versus the ones that are just focused on the technology.
Yeah, we could just do this all day. That'd be cool. That's our mascot, this floating space sort of thing, right?
Yeah, it's definitely taking longer than It did last time, but oh my goodness.
Oh,
Those are right up your alley, George.
oh man, the one with the big flag in it. Hello, that's
let's,
game on.
let's make him bigger. Wow.
Yeah, that's
He
what I'm
is
talking about.
special.
You
Oh,
gotta
we're gonna have
save
to
that.
send this to John.
Yeah, we do. Yeah, we do.
I'm gonna download this guy.
That is perfect. Oh yeah.
I'll have to do it later. I'll just copy the link for now.
That's a said.
Oh,
And the
well,
funny part is, John's from South Africa originally, right?
yes, he is.
Yeah. So he gets a logo for the school he's president of with a big old American flag.
American flag. Hey, he's American.
That's awesome.
Is there anything else you want to play with here in CoPilot, or do we want to switch over to the next one?
Oh, how about one? I think we have time for one more tool. What do you think?
One more. Okay. Do you want to do?
Or we can do as many as we want. I'm good.
I've got Canva, Vyond, and Lumen 5. Which one have you not played with?
You know, I haven't played. I used to use Vyond all the time, but I never used their AI. I love Lumen 5 and Canva.
Me too. But I recently discovered that Vyond has incorporated some beta AI tools. So I'll show you them.
No way.
Yes. You're going to be floored.
This kind of like Meet the Robinsons. Prepare to be amazed.
Yes. So,
I love it.
You know, this probably looks familiar to you if you've used Vyond before.
Yes,
but when you go to create, you can now do create with AI. This is the screen where you will generate your video. It's got the different settings here, the optional settings here. And what was the prompt I said? To instructional designers talking about artificial intelligence. And then we did conversation at a university. We'll go casual. Okay.
Casual. Oh,
Yeah,
that was quick too.
That was pretty quick. I mean, it's still loading, but it's moving along pretty quickly.
Oh yeah, there's the people with the script.
So it created a whole script.
Wow.
It's over here on the right hand side, and it created the scene and the characters and everything. So
now, it almost used an LAPU blue. Is that because you've used that color?
No,
before,
that was all part of their generator.
Okay.
I don't think I did any of that. Are you able to hear that?
I can hear it.
Have you heard about artificial?
Oh, it's buffering. It's going live. I'm curious though. Have you heard about artificial intelligence? Yes, I have. It's a fascinating topic.
Fascinating topic.
That's the thing I've noticed about Vyond is like it's so complex.
Have you heard about artificial intelligence?
Yes, I have. It's a fascinating topic.
Definitely.
Wow.
Did you know that AI is expected to contribute over $15 trillion to the global economy by 2030?
Yes, it's amazing how AI is transforming various industries, from healthcare to finance.
So it goes on, but
Wow.
it just did that. And how long did it take? What, 2 minutes maybe? Maybe
Yeah,
not
2
even
minutes
2
because you had to type the prompt twice. You know,
Well,
probably
yes.
a minute and a half. Wow. That's pretty
But yeah.
incredible.
I know, right? So I just started playing with this too, like a couple weeks ago. But
Now, can you edit that script? Oh yeah, quick
sure.
edit right there.
Yeah, I can just
Boom.
double click and change it and then re-render.
Wow. Okay.
It's like,
That's amazing.
yeah. So
And that's why when I
there.
started, because you can't do things like prior to, just literally months ago, we couldn't do stuff like that.
No, I mean, this is all now. It's all happening now. And like this
Wow.
particular one at Vyond is beta. So it's very right now. It's only going to get better.
Right. Yeah. Remember, I love because remember the first time you tried to talk into Google to send a text message, and it didn't even come close to spelling it correctly. Now you do it, it even puts in punctuation and commas and periods and exclamations and question marks. It's incredible how far it's come in a short time, and it's getting faster and faster and faster, better and better and better. It's crazy how good it is.
And the other thing I've noticed too, and this goes to my point earlier, there being so many tools, the more you explore what's out there right now and what's coming out like literally today, tomorrow, in the near future, the tools all do things differently. I don't know if that's intentional or if it's just the way they're being trained, but like Vyond can make these really fun explanations is what we like to call them. They're animations.
I love that term.
But then you go to Lumen 5 and it's making a whole different style of video. And then you go into Canva and they have a video generator, but it doesn't serve the same purpose at all. It's meant to create like what looks like stock footage. That's what their video generator does. So knowing what's out there and knowing how they differ will help you work faster.
I love the way you put that, because it's so important to pick the right tool for your organization. You can pick any one of those tools and they're great, but if they don't fit, they don't fit.
Right. And these are some of my favorites because they help me do what I do better and faster. But this might not be what you do. So you don't need the same exact tools that I need, Right.
That's incredible. So like, I don't know why people wouldn't need a good cartoon, but there are those instances where it just doesn't work right.
The level of professionalism needs to be a little higher than a Saturday morning cartoon. Although I would challenge everyone to consider the power of an entertaining cartoon to get a point across.
Right.
I was like, RIT picked Ninja for our security
right?
training. It's fantastic.
Well, even the United States Army in World War II used comics to train the troops, and they were fantastic.
Right.
We know the outcome of all that. That was pretty good.
It's
pretty good. Pretty good outcome of that one. So cartoons, they're powerful. They really are. But you're right. They don't fit every circumstance. But I'm with you. I would try it, test it. And especially in this age of AI, I start off by saying you're making yourself irrelevant if you're not using the tools. If you're making just these huge choices and just sticking with whatever decision, you have to come back a little bit and start making iterative choices about your tools and such, and how you're using AI, so you can adjust as things change and adjust. So it's kind of gone away from these big sweeping decisions of this is how we do things within our organization to iterative decisions where we're making small adjustments to stay relevant, stay on top of our game. So I think it's really cool.
Yeah.
So should we do another live stream? We're kind of out of time. Should we do another live stream on Canva and Lumen 5 and all the amazing stuff they do then? Are you up for it?
Yeah, we could do a series of these because there's a bunch of tools out there that we're using, like Copy AI and even ChatGPT. We didn't even talk about ChatGPT.
And that's kind of the one that
started it all.
It started November 2022.
The bomb was dropped. Yes.
Yes. So shall we say we're going to come back at a time very soon with a Canva, other text tools, and Lumen 5 live stream? And shall we sign off of this one?
Yeah, let's do that.
Can we do it with our tagline? There's only 2 of us now. I think we might get it right.
It will never go right. Just do it.
We have never got just
one person.
If you have never seen a live stream from DLS at any time, we have never gotten the tagline fully synced yet, but we will. We may be 1,250,000 shows in, but we will get it right one day. All right, so we'll count it down. You ready?
Okay.
2, 3. This
This
is what learning
learning
feels
feels
like. It's get closer. It's get closer.
You're too funny.
Calista, you're amazing. I really appreciate all the great artistry and just fun you bring to instructional design and all the courses that you build and create for our students. So you're just an amazing human being. So thank you.
Learning is fun, so it needs to be fun to create so that it's fun to engage with.
Who decided learning's supposed to be boring?
I don't know. It wasn't me.
We need to hunt that person down and just ask, what were you thinking? What were you thinking?
They just didn't know what they were missing.
They didn't know. All right. Well, have a fantastic day. Bye.